have with y'all today, which is my favorite movies of the year so far. I was about to say horror movies because I do have a lot of horror movies on here, but these are my favorite movies of the year so far, and I want to go ahead and talk to you about them and just get a little bit of a conversation going here. So I was going to initially record this video, and I did, and I didn't record it with sound, so I was just like, all right, what do we do? We're just gonna go live and just do it live, let it become a video. So currently trying to work through some videos that I want to do and more of a schedule for things, because we're entering fall season, which means we are coming close to having awards coming out. So movies that are going for that Oscar, movies that are going for the Golden Globes, things like that are going to start coming out. Festival season is right upon us, so a ton of movies are going to be coming out, and I don't just want to be doing random videos here and there. Like, I want to make it more consistent, give you a better sort of like experience on the channel here. And I feel like the channel has just been all over the place for the last couple of years, and that's not what I want to do. I want to have it a little bit more concise, maybe do more of the Substack things and Patreon, things like that. I just want to have different things going on the channel. So stay tuned for more of those announcements as they come. But I present to you my top 10 movies of the year so far. Like I've always said with y'all, these are my top 10. I'm not here to tell you these are the best movies of the year. And if you don't like them, then you're totally wrong. I think it's subjective. I think what you like is what you like. And this is what I just like for the year so far. The year's almost coming to a close. We're more than halfway through. So here they are. These are my top 10 movies of the year so far. So at number 10, I have Najat 2, which is the film that I was just the most blown away by when it comes to animation this year. This was incredibly well done. This movie, I watched it last week. It is being redistributed by A24. It is currently one of the top grossing films of all time, and it is the top grossing film when it comes to animated films. This movie is just something you got to experience on the big screen. I watched it in IMAX. I don't know if you have to go watch it in IMAX, but watch it whenever you can. This movie is just incredibly done. The visuals are dazzling. If you're a fan of these movies that are going to wow you and showcase something you've never seen before, this is it. It has a ton of comedy, a ton of action, and the heart was just there at the right moment. Like, it really caught me in my feels when I least expected it, but really loved Najat 2. It is being redistributed by A24. It has an English dub. I watched the English dub. I will say I don't think the dub was as great as it could be, but it's still tolerable for the most part. But that's number 10 right there. At number 9, I have Friendship. I've become a massive Tim Robinson fan in the last, I would say, 3 years. So when I heard Friendship was going to be at South by Southwest this year, I was like, I got to watch that. Because I was trying to watch it last year at TIFF. Missed it. I did not get to go to any Midnight Madness screening, which was sad. Hopefully we'll get to do that pretty soon. But Friendship was just undeniably one of the funniest movies I've watched in a long time. If you're a fan of Tim Robinson's offbeat humor, awkward type vibes, this is it. Paul Rudd's great as well, and I would love to see more of Tim Robinson on the big screen for sure. Number 8 on my list is going to be Sinners. I really love Sinners. I think they did an excellent job at really bringing the horror action thriller back, and I think it started a wave of us showcasing to studios that we'll go watch something if you decide to make it great and give it a great marketing push, right? Because Sinners was just that. People want more original stuff. People are getting kind of tired of IPs. Mix it in with some original things and we'll be there seated first day. Ryan Coogler, I think, demonstrated that he is able to handle multiple genres and blend them well, and that was what Sinners did here. Michael B. Jordan continues to cement himself as that next big star as well, I think, and I'm very excited to see what they cook up next. Number 7 on my list is going to be Weapons, which is the latest film from Zach Cregger. I think Cregger delivered an exceptional film with Barbarian back in 2022, which really surprised me. I went into Barbarian not knowing it was directed by Zach Cregger, who I love from The Whitest Kids You Know, and also I was just like, you know what, this is going to be a whatever type of horror movie. No, Barbarian came in and showcased to me that, man, there's still something to say in horror, right? And I think that with Weapons, Zach Cregger does the same. I'm not as hot on Weapons as I am with Barbarian, but I still think it was exceptionally done. I really do think that Cregger knows how to build atmosphere and really knows how to hit the scares just right. But like with any great comedian, it's timing in horror, and I think Cregger has great timing. Number 6 on my list is going to be the film Together with Alison Brie and Dave Franco. This is a movie that I had been hearing so many great things when it premiered at Sundance. Everybody was talking about Together, so when I got the opportunity to watch this one, I was just completely blown away by it. I think Alison Brie and Dave Franco are really showcasing the great chemistry they have with one another in this film. I think that it is a movie that people are going to be talking about years to come, and I really do think that it showcases really well codependency and relationships over time. And I really did find it intriguing that it was more romantic and comedic than the horror element of it, because they're really pushing on the horror, which I thought was great. I don't think it was as crazy or as horrific as people say. I think what makes this movie stronger is the comedy as well as the romance in it. Let me check for my audio real quick, y'all. I thought was great. I don't think okay, audio's great. Audio's great. I just always forget to check on the audio for sure. But at number 5 on my list is Presence. This is the new Steven Soderbergh film. This movie premiered at Sundance last year, and I was going to watch it at Sundance last year, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to pass on it for now. And I was just like, wait, when I passed on it, and then so many people were talking about it and saying this was such a great movie, I was just like, yeah, that was an idiot move on my part, because the movie didn't release for a full other year, but I finally did get to watch it, and I was just blown away. I think this is Steven Soderbergh's best movie that he has released this year, and he's released a couple this year. And it also is one of my favorite horror movies, and as you can see, my top 10 consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 horror movies. So that should tell you something. I really love horror movies, but Presence was just done in a way where I was just blown away, because I was thinking the concept of it, that the movie is in the point of view of a ghost, was going to feel gimmicky and it wasn't going to land, but total opposite. I think that the whole point of view and misdirection really adds more to this movie, and really, really recommend if you haven't watched it yet. Number 4 on my list is going to be The Undertone, which I don't know if it's going to release this year, but I did watch it this year. It was premiering at Fantasia Fest a couple of weeks ago. It got picked up by A24, and I will tell you, this is the scariest and creepiest movie of the year, hands down, that I've watched. This movie is directed by Ian Tuason. It stars Nina Kiri, and what Ian Tuason and the rest of the team do here with audio is something we don't see in horror much, and I think we need it a lot more, because we don't take that element of creepy audio and things that become unnerving like into horror films as much today. And I think that we see Ian Tuason be able to build this atmosphere that is just incredible throughout. One of those movies that I don't think I'm going to forget in a long time, and I think a lot of people are going to come out really surprised with this. It is a liminal type of horror film, and if you like analog horror and all of that, really, really look out for The Undertone once A24 releases it. Probably next year, I feel, though. So at number 3 on my list, I have the film Bring Her Back, which is the latest film from Raka Raka, and I really do love that movie, Talk to Me, and what they were able to accomplish there. I really do think that they really are coming to their own as these like horror directors to keep an eye out for, and anytime they do something new, I'm seated day one. Yeah, I really did love Nobody 2. I was surprised by it as well. That definitely was one of the most fun moments in the theater all year, for sure, watching that with a crowd. Bob Odenkirk is so great, honestly. Number 2 on my list, I have Superman, James Gunn. I will always be seated for James Gunn. I love James Gunn ever since I watched Super many years ago, and his film Slither as well was one of the first introductions I had to him. And I think I've just loved seeing him evolve as a writer, as a director. And I think that he is one of the few directors that really showcases that you can be so earnest and sincere in your films, but still have them be a spectacle. And Superman is just the epitome of all of those films. I don't know if it's my favorite of his films. I do think Guardians 2 definitely is still one of my favorite films from James Gunn, but I think that he continues to showcase that he is consistent and he's able to deliver a product that just feels grand and whole at the same time. Number 1 on my list is 28 Years Later. I think one of the most divisive films of the year so far. I really do love this film. I do love that third act. I think it really hits so hard watching it, play out the way it does, because the film really did subvert expectations. So many people were expecting it to be one thing, and then it went ahead and did something else. And I really do love when a film just does its thing, and it's like, this is the story I'm telling, and this is what it is. And you can ride with it, or you can just not be there, right? But it doesn't try to appease too much to one side or the other. It does its own thing, right? It gives you a little of that, a little of this, but it's at the end has its own identity. And there are so many key moments in this movie 28 years later that I just still think about, and it gets me more excited for the Bone Temple in a couple of months. So super excited to see when we get that trailer for sure for the Bone Temple. But these are my top 10 so far of the year. I definitely am going to be doing a longer video for each of them, and this is just because my equipment wasn't functioning, so I had to do a live video for it. But stay tuned for more announcements to come from the channel. We're starting to get into the award season with a lot of films that are going to be going for, of course, the awards, and we'll be trying to cover as many as possible. A little bit behind on reviews as well, because I've watched about like 10 movies I haven't been able to make a video or an article for on our website, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to try and catch up before the week starts, so that's what I'm about to get on to do right now. And I'm excited to bring you some of these reviews, because some of these movies are just so good that I want to talk more about them. But we have this week coming out Lurker, which is another one of my favorite movies I've watched. It would be an honorable mention for sure, but I just don't want to make it too long this video, because I just want to get out a video today talking about this list. But computer and everything weren't cooperating with the editing and all of that, so I just had to do a live video. But stay tuned for that. Really appreciate everybody who watched or came on to comment. Bradley, and yeah, thank you so much. And as always, stay tuned for more. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.